And welcome to the Friday, July 18th edition of the Makers and Movers podcast. How are you doing today, folks? Woo, we got a good one for you today. We're continuing on our series that we stole. I mean, we stole, but we didn't steal. From It's inspired from Foundations of a Strong Brand section from Caleb Ralston's video. You should be able to find the link to that down below in the comments. And today, we're going to talk foundation first and how to build that brand that actually works. Because if you can't clearly say what you do, who it's for, and why it matters, you don't have a brand, right? So we're going to talk more about that. But for some reason, I got to find the other information that's there with it, because we're gonna today we're gonna craft that brand that people actually remember. So we should have some good things with it. Remember, this is your first time here, long time here. We know who you are, where you're from, what's in your cup, what the weather is like in your area. We're about crushed on the Celsius peach vibe this morning. Our five things, we've already been going at it. We stayed late last night working on things to get things taken care of for today. Ordered supplies. I got to send mock-ups out here still this morning. We've got a meeting that we have to get done. We've got DTF that needs there, and then we've got a birthday party. So in our mentorship call, I'll be jetting out of that because we got to pick up cakes, we got to do stuff, and that starts at 11. So look at a busy, busy day. I want to hear what your busy, busy day is. So make sure to check in and go with all of that noise. Renee, good morning to you. 65 on the way to 89 there in Chicagoland. Water in the bottle, coffee in the cup. Barb, good morning. North Central Minnesota, 58, rain, water in the cup. Five things: quotes to invoicing, 3D printing, sewing alterations, digitizing, review schedule. Very nice. Hi, Renee from Barb. What's up, Chuck? Good morning to you. Good morning from Florida. Weather undecided. No cup. Hi, Barb and Renee. Hi, Chuck and Barb. Or that way, the other way around. And five things: memorial and luncheon for a family friend. Follow up with a client on colors. Close a store. Photo samples. Busy, busy day all the way around for people. We've got Hudson's birthday Sunday. That sounds right. Sunday birthday. So today we have a birthday party that we're doing at Adventure Center. And then this evening we've got the micro wrestlers we're gonna go see. So it should make for a great weekend tomorrow. Demo derby, Sunday birthday. It's gonna be a day, that's for sure. And then to try and get other stuff done. Meetings went well last night on things, scheduled up some new stuff, made some advancements on some purchases. So I think that's all going in the right spot. Soon we'll be able to tell you all about those for it. And I'm excited about that. Linda, morning. Linda, good morning. Hi from 77 degrees, foggy Texas. Five things: 3D print, UV print, mock up soccer uniforms, send photos to new AD. Very nice. Very, very nice. So, what do you say? We just get right into the stuff today. Here's what it is. You don't need a viral video or a clever slogan to build the memorable brand. What you need is you need a story. The truth is people forget facts, right? But they remember stories. And if your brand doesn't have one, you're making people work too hard to care. So we're going to walk through the three-part framework that should help the small apparel decorators create a brand story that connects, converts, and sticks. And this is another if you're doesn't matter if you're a one-person shop or a growing team, your story matters, and we really need to make the time to tell that. So, you know, start with the start with the catalyst. All right. Every story has a beginning, and in branding, beginning is your catalyst. This is the moment that made you start your business, pivot directions, and realize that the market needed something better. Your catalyst sets the emotional tone of your brand. It's the why now part of your story. Don't overthink it. You don't need some dramatic backstory or a decade of experience. Sometimes it's just as simple as started this because I was tired of getting ghosted by big suppliers, or I couldn't find a cute spirit wear shirt that didn't look like a PE uniform. It doesn't have to be crazy. The more specific and personal your catalyst is, the more reputable it becomes. That relatability builds trust, and trust builds customers. Some examples is, our Jerseys didn't arrive for a championship game, and that's when they knew that it was better they could do it themselves. Somebody else, the fundraiser shirts were so bad that they were embarrassed to wear them. So they designed one themselves and everybody wanted one. For ours, we had Hattie's first birthday shirts and the place dropped the ball on it. And I hadn't done business for a while. I said, we can get right back into this. And that's what started it. So, write down that exact moment or experience that made you start or restart your business. One story, one sentence. Don't try to make it perfect. Just make it real with it. Okay. Number two, define your core truth. Your brand's core truth is what you believe. It's the value that shows up in everything you do, even if you never say it out loud. This belief drives your designs, your customer service, your tone, and your why. For decorators, that core truth might be, I believe small teams deserve great gear. For others, it could be, I believe designs mattered, even when it's for a middle school bake sale. When you're clear on your core truth, your brand voice becomes sharper, more consistent. And this is really, the spine of your business. Everything should connect back to it. Whether you're choosing a color palette or writing style, if you don't know what you believe, you really struggle to stand for anything. Now some examples people have given is, I believe every kid should feel seen on the field, even if they're not the star player. You know, I believe custom shirts should be fun, easy, and never boring. For this, just write one sentence that starts with "I believe" and fill in your truth. Put it at the top of your about page, your business plan, your studio wall. Let it guide your everything. Now, before we get on to three, let's see if we have anything any more in here. Is that the new politically correct term? Midget wrestling is what it is, 100%. But this is the specific organization that's out of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And so they are bringing the show up here for our fair, and that's what we're doing tonight. Good morning, Tim. Tinning away this morning before softball afternoon. Sounds like fun. Can't wait for a Tim softball story on Monday because those are my favorite types of weekend stories. All right. Tip three, let's show the proof, okay? Because it's one thing to say that you care about your custards. I do like a good custard, but to show that you care about your customers, it's another thing to prove it. Your story needs receipts, photos, results, testimonials, behind the scene moments that really back up your core truth. And these don't need to be polished or perfect. They just need to be real. Proof makes your story believable. If your catalyst was the jerseys never arrived, your proof might be a photo of your own delivery sitting on a coach's porch, a week early. Hey, if your truth is I believe designs matter, your proof might be a post comparing a fundraiser shirt you made versus the clip art heavy one used last year. Now, examples of this, is a screenshot of a message from a team mom that says, "This was the easiest fundraiser we've ever done." A photo of game day shirts on every kid in the stands with a caption that says, "Delivered early, worn proudly." So, for the action step on this one, let's just pick one piece of proof that backs up your brand's promise, right? Post it this week in the story, in a feed, in an email. Tell your audience why it matters. Now, number four, thread it through everything. Your brand story isn't something that you post once and forget. It's your something you thread, through everything. Your captions, your product names, your packaging, your customer experience, through everything that you do. Now, this doesn't mean repeating the same origin story every week. It just means echoing your message in the way you talk, the way you serve, and the way you show up. Your story should be, obvious in your vibe, just not in your words. When your story is woven into everything you do, people start to feel like they know you, and that feeling builds loyalty, and that is something that no template will ever build for you. Right? Examples of this is Threaded Co uses baseball metaphors in every email because their story started with a kid's little league jersey mishap. Mama made that closes every order with a note that says, "Made this during that time. Hack during bedtime. Thanks for being part of the story. So, action step for four is pick one place your brand story is missing: your bio, your product listings, your order notes, and just add a line or phrase that ties back to your truth origin. Now, so we wrap this up to number five, share it like a human. Share it like a human. That's, I don't know how to say that more than share it like a human, right? Your story doesn't need to be a branding coach or a videographer. It just needs you, and it needs to be you. Don't hide behind a logo, or wait until you have that perfect version of yourself. People connect with honest over polished every single time. And even if you feel awkward on camera, even if you don't know how to tell it right, just start. Talk to your audience like a friend. Share a throwback. Post a caption that explains your why. Show your face, or at least show your voice. Right? The moment you get real is the moment people start rooting for you. Now, some examples of this is maybe it's just a selfie with the caption, "This is the face of someone who started this business because her kid never got a team shirt on time." All right. Maybe a reel with you folding shirts while sharing your why in a voiceover. Raw, unscripted, and real. What do we need for this? Hey, can you record a video or write a short post explaining why you started your business? Post it. And even if it feels scary, someone out there needs to hear it. So, as we wrap all of this up, tell your story because it matters. All right. Your story is your superpower. It builds trust, it sparks connection, and it makes you unforgettable. And even in this sea of custom shirt sellers. So, to recap through this, the catalyst, this is what started it all. Share that moment. The core truth is what you believe. Let it be your guide to your brand. The proof is how you back it up. Show real results. The thread is about how you carry it through your entire business. And the human element, that's what makes people care. You know, People don't fall in love with a business. They fall in love with the stories behind them. So tell yours because it matters more than you think for it. So that's what we got today. We ran through this quick. Why? Because we got stuff we need to get done and on with. It is going to be a long busy day, and we've got stuff to do before next call. If you're in our mentorship call, that will start at 9:30 a.m. Like I said, I'm dipping out a half hour into that so we can continue on with the day. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. So make sure to go like and subscribe and share. Let me pull up what next week's topics are because I think we got three more left of these, and I will go pull that so I can see which ones those are for it, because we just finished up number three. So we're going to have number four. Monday is all going to be about positioning, what makes you different. Five is going to be authentically human. People connect with people, not brands. And then we'll do a follow up on everything on next Friday. So that's next week's schedule. Now, there could be a chance in the next week that, depending how meeting goes, sometime between now and Wednesday, that we might be moving the show locations. You will be kept up to date if that happens, and we'll keep you there. We're trying to work out a deal and see if that happens. So I'm pleasantly happy with that. And as always, we'll keep you updated on things. We do have a lot of stuff happening in the next 12, 13 days, in the next 2 weeks, and then that kind of sets the tone for the next 60, 90, 120 rest of our lives type of thing. So we're rocking and rolling with that. Cannot wait for you all to come along with that journey. And until next time, you guys have an amazing day. Peace, love, press on. We'll see.